Have you ever felt that subtle hesitation just before happiness fully arrives? It's as if a quiet alarm sounds deep inside you, pulling you back from the edge of joy. You tell yourself it's wisdom, a practical caution born from experience. But beneath this reasoning lies something softer, darker, and far more truthful. The quiet belief that happiness itself can't be trusted. You move toward dreams, love, healing, yet the closer you get, the stronger you feel compelled to retreat. It's not coincidence, it's an internal pattern. A shadow protector that cleverly disguises sabotage as safety. Imagine yourself once as a child navigating a path littered with hidden dangers. Each step toward hope brought pain, each joyful moment ending abruptly. Gradually, you learned not just to avoid suffering, but to mistrust joy itself. Now, years later, the glass beneath your feet has vanished, but the caution remains. You hold back your authentic voice in conversations. You delay the projects that might set your spirit free. You turn away from affection, believing you're merely protecting yourself from disappointment. Yet beneath every hesitation lies the heartbreaking truth. You've come to feel safest in the familiar arms of your suffering. Depth psychologists speak of the human mind's unconscious devotion to what's known, no matter how painful it may be. Science reminds us that the part of our brain attuned to threat also fears uncertainty itself. Even peaceful moments can trigger an unspoken panic. Here's the sharpest truth of all. You don't resist happiness because something within you is broken. You resist because a deep part of you remains loyal to old wounds, loyal to the very pain that once served to keep you safe. Yet what if this loyalty no longer protects, but imprisons? What if, in your constant flight from peace, you're turning your back on the very life calling out to you right now? Do you recall when peace first became something you feared? Back then, you didn't have words for it, only a faint unease beneath the surface of silence. It was the hush before voices rose, the stillness before footsteps thundered down a hallway. Early on, you learned a heartbreaking lesson. Calm was never comfort. It was anticipation, suspense. As a child, you didn't choose chaos. It seeped quietly into your bones, growing like wild ivy along the walls of your nervous system. Love was unpredictable, warmth turning cold without warning, affection withdrawn as quickly as it arrived. Your small, watchful eyes learned to scan faces like weather forecasts, constantly alert for signs of incoming storms. And when storms were absent, the calm felt like betrayal, a quiet threat disguised as safety. Picture a child at dinner, body rigid in silence. No one speaks, yet the air thickens. A dropped utensil, an irritated glance, a subtle sigh, and instantly, muscles tense, breath quickens. The child's body recognizes danger long before the mind understands it. Psychologists call this emotional imprinting, but to that child, it was simply survival. Your amygdala, the internal guardian of fear, learned to anticipate pain even in moments of peace, associating safety with hidden danger. And here lies the root. When love had to be earned, you chased approval relentlessly. When affection was fleeting, you performed, apologized, and perfected yourself to maintain a fragile balance. You unknowingly trained yourself to live on edge, forever bracing for the next loss. No one warned you that a nervous system steeped in tension forgets how to rest. Thus, you carried your anxious inheritance into adulthood, invisible but powerful, shaping every relationship, every opportunity, every dream. Consider Anna, a woman thriving in a new relationship, finally experiencing genuine kindness. Yet, as soon as love felt real, her anxiety surged. She searched obsessively for flaws, anticipating rejection before it could happen. When peace lingered too long, Anna provoked arguments, subconsciously recreating the familiar turmoil from her childhood. Not out of malice, but because calm had become unbearably alien. She was still the child scanning faces, fearing the quiet. Now ask yourself honestly, in what ways are you still that child, anticipating pain when none exists, fleeing from comfort toward the familiar arms of chaos? Your self-sabotage isn't rebellion, it's loyalty. A deep, unconscious loyalty to the wounded child within you, still convinced that peace is the quiet before collapse. Yet the home that taught you fear is gone, the battle over. So why do you remain at war? Because the child has grown, but the fear remains, quietly dictating your story. But what if this familiar fear has become your greatest obstacle, keeping you safe yet painfully distant from the freedom you crave? On the surface, your life appears quietly successful, seamlessly put together. You've mastered the art of appearing strong, calm, competent. A stable career, meaningful relationships, and carefully measured confidence. Yet, beneath this poised exterior hums a quiet anxiety, a persistent unrest no success ever truly settles. You've become skilled at holding a mask in place, so convincing even you sometimes mistake it for your own face. But pause, just for a moment. What if the mask you wear to shield yourself is quietly suffocating who you truly are? The subtle symptoms betray you, a restless ache that appears whenever life starts feeling too steady. You subtly dismantle your own comfort, picking carefully at the threads that hold your stability together. You procrastinate just before a critical breakthrough, withdraw precisely when intimacy feels too genuine, spark conflicts with those who offer authentic closeness. Not because you crave pain, but because the discomfort of chaos is at least familiar, predictable, safe. The roots of this paradox reach deep into childhood wounds. Early emotional experiences sculpted your inner world, teaching your nervous system to confuse chaos with security. Over time, your brain began craving turmoil simply because it recognizes it. This is your unconscious coping mechanism at play. Self-sabotage, quietly masked as self-protection. Psychology calls this confirmation bias. You recreate familiar pain to validate hidden expectations, ensuring life never catches you unprepared. Imagine yourself endlessly constructing and demolishing a fragile shelter, convinced each collapse proves your power. This endless cycle isn't rebellion, it's a tragic ritual. You mistake anxiety for drive, loneliness for strength, exhaustion for dedication. You wear your turmoil proudly, mistaking its heaviness for purpose. Consider the image of a performer gracefully dancing on broken glass, smiling despite each hidden cut. Applause rains down because the audience sees only beauty, strength, elegance, not the quiet agony beneath every step. This has become your existence, applauded for disguising pain as grace. Yet the performance exhausts you. The cost of composure is a silent self-erasure. Why do you return to familiar pain, wearing suffering as a badge of honor? Because somewhere deep within, you believe your authentic self, unmasked, vulnerable, could never be loved as fiercely as your careful facade. You've convinced yourself that abandonment for who you truly are hurts infinitely more than admiration for who you pretend to be. Yet here is the cruel irony. You're not trapped by weakness, but by loyalty. Loyalty to the familiar pain that once protected you, loyalty to the chaos that raised you, loyalty to your own wounded past. Dopamine, the brain's chemical messenger, rewards predictability, even when that predictability is harmful. It's why conflict feels vividly alive, while peace feels threateningly numb. Ask yourself deeply, have you mistaken the adrenaline of chaos for proof of life itself? You've internalized this false mastery, destroying your peace, controlling your losses, and ultimately ensuring your own disappointment simply to maintain control over the narrative. Psychologists call this anticipatory defense. You sabotage your happiness first, convinced this self-inflicted pain is safer than hope that might shatter unexpectedly. But here's the unsettling question you must confront. If your mind has mastered survival, what would it take for it to finally trust peace? There inevitably arrives a moment when the very chaos that once saved you begins to feel suffocating, when the familiar walls built for protection become the prison you long to escape. You've glimpsed it clearly, the trail of unfinished dreams, broken connections, and opportunities abandoned. You used to blame fate or circumstance, but the truth softly echoes from within. You were the one who withdrew first, who lit the match each time peace came too close. Healing, however, isn't born from shame. It awakens gently from acceptance. It begins by bravely touching the truth you've long avoided, acknowledging that you've mistaken surviving for truly living. Each silent ache, each restless feeling signals an invitation, not to fix yourself, but to meet yourself honestly, maybe for the first time. Picture the masks you've worn for so long, those careful disguises of strength, independence, composure. Imagine now slowly setting them down, recognizing how heavy they've become. Your journey toward freedom doesn't start with dramatic upheaval, but with small, courageous acts of inner honesty. By gently turning inward, you begin dismantling old patterns not broken by force, but softly undone by awareness. Begin by sitting quietly with yourself for just 5 minutes each morning, not to fix, analyze, or solve, but simply to listen to the subtle whispers of your heart. Notice gently, without judgment. What truth arises when you stop running? What do you feel beneath the carefully maintained armor? Each quiet moment spent in sincere self-awareness gradually rewrites the inner script, teaching your nervous system a new, gentler language. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's quiet revolution of relearning safety through repetition. Every conscious breath, every moment you choose presence over escape, rebuilds your inner world. Imagine yourself as a gardener gently pruning away the weeds of old conditioning, patiently cultivating new pathways of self-trust. Each deliberate choice of awareness over sabotage becomes nourishment for your soul. You're no longer at war with yourself, you're patiently becoming whole. Slowly, even setbacks become lessons, relapses become reminders, and quiet moments of discomfort reveal themselves as gateways to deeper self-understanding. This is the gentle, profound art of reconciliation, embracing the wounded child within you, welcoming home all the scattered pieces. Integration isn't achieved through forceful rejection of the past, but by tender acceptance of your full humanity, the shadow and the light, chaos and calm, the broken and the brave. Today, simply write down one honest sentence in your journal. I am willing to meet myself fully. Let it be the beginning, not of another forced attempt at perfection, but of authentic reconnection. With each small step, clarity deepens. Peace becomes less threatening, and you discover you're no longer running from silence. You're returning home to it. If these words resonated, remember you're never alone on this journey. Subscribe, join this gentle revolution, and keep exploring the videos on this channel. Together, we navigate inward, transforming old wounds into the wisdom that sets us free.